Hey again, everybody. John Savage, Jukebox Johnny, coming at you. Somebody asked me the question, when did your love affair for the mandolin family begin? First of all, that's a great description because it is definitely a love affair. I am not by training a mandolin player, but I began playing the mandolin. To answer the question, I got my first mandolin in 1992. I went into a music store to buy guitar strings, and I think at the time I might have been looking for a new electric guitar, but I walked in and there was this beautiful instrument sitting right on a stand on the counter, and it called to me. I picked it up. It's a lot like this one here. This is an A style mandolin, not an F style as you see here. I'll talk about this one in a minute. I loved the sound. I loved the chops that were needed to play it. I loved its portability. And that wasn't very good, and this isn't exactly in tune, but it was an instrument that felt very my size, my stature, and the sound that it produced was something that appealed to me. I said, I've got to know more about it. And it was in discovering the mandolin that I actually learned how much mandolin existed in rock and pop music at the time. I wasn't familiar with bluegrass music at that point, but I was familiar with Led Zeppelin. I was familiar with some of the songs of Rod Stewart, and I was familiar with REM. And all of these bands were using mandolin, and I didn't even know it. I thought it was some high-pitched guitar, and all of a sudden I run into this instrument and I realized, oh, the mandolin. Well, and so I began to learn more about folk music and bluegrass music, and as time went on, I also learned that the mandolin and the violin are cousins. The violin family, the violin, the viola, and the violoncello are instruments, 4 strings, tuned in fifths, played with a bow. Well, then I learned that there was actually more instruments to the mandolin family. Mandolin, mandola, and mandocello. They're all related. They all come from the same general portion of the world, but they all have different colors and different textures, and I'll be demonstrating these as time goes on. I love modal harmony. I love things that are in fifths. I love the way that the mandolin feels under my fingers. It's very intuitive. And I love the fact that in a setting where there are other instrumentalists already playing, like guitars, for example, and I can bring in one of these instruments and instantly a brand new color and a brand new perspective is introduced into music. So I like the instrument itself, but I also like what it can do in an ensemble setting. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. Keep the questions coming, and we'll get some demonstration videos up soon enough. Peace.